Hello and welcome to Fulbeck in Lincolnshire for round 7 of the Easykart Senior Lightweight Championship. This has proved to be the pick of the championships this year. The champion, Elliot Rice, currently leads, but there's 6-7 drivers still in with a mathematical chance of the championship. We'll understand more at the end of the day. Right now, let's enjoy the lightweight heat. Just to set the grid for the pre-final, Jamie Crease in pole position ahead of Ayrton Hurst. Tony Longstaff starts on grid 3 ahead of Patrick Lay. Sam Massey, Sam Dimolo on row 3. Luca Hurst, Ben King on row 4. Terry Langley and Brad Fairhurst round out the top 10. Well, here we go then. Poleman Jamie Crease on the right, now on the left. He's on it now, and here we go. Into the teeth of a gale, and here comes the thunder down to turn 1. Ayrton Hurst tips in over the top and leads at Fulbeck. Crease in second. Patrick Lee up to third as Longstaff drops to 4. Sam Dimolo, Sam Massey into the chicane. Will they all make it in? Will Lampitz run wide but manage to squeeze in at the apex with Jamie Summerhayes. Terry Langley looking to the inside at turn 4. Can't get it done. Further back, Lampit ahead of Genman. Summerhayes, Moxham well down. Work to do for Richard Moxham, who's still in the championship hunt. Up to the start line once again, and Tony Longstaff is now holding off Sam Massey as he's lost out to Sam Dimolo. So Longstaff running in 5th. Terry Langley trying to cut back and inside Brad Fairhurst, but Fairhurst has got the momentum down to the bus stop. Dimolo already moving on to the bumper of Patrick Lay, but it's Hurst leading into the stadium complex. It feels a little bit like Hockenheim and looks nothing like it. So Terry Langley has demoted Brad Fairhurst and moves up to 9th. Back out into the countryside. And I suppose if it was lined with trees, which it isn't, it might look a little bit like Hockenheim, but it's not. So I'll drop that very dodgy metaphor. And it's Ayrton Hurst into the bus stop on the shiny old tarmac. Ahead of Jamie Crease, Patrick Lay, Sam Dimolo. Down to turn 4. Massey inside of Dimolo. Fairhurst inside of Langley. Langley on the crisscross. It's a difficult manoeuvre to go round the outside into 5. He backs out of it, but lets Patterson up the inside. So the race beginning to settle down. It looks as though Fairhurst is being lined up here by Joe Patterson. Right on his bumper. Into 3, up the inside into 4, not close enough. Ben Yeoman's down the inside of Matthew Pearce. And Ben Yeoman shows for the first time through the 13th place. Oh, but he nails the curb, tipping into 5. And Crease has closed in on race leader Ayrton Hurst. Not close enough to strike into the hairpin this time. Ayrton Hurst is 1.2 seconds clear of Patrick Lay in 3rd. Then it's Massey with Dimolo on his bumper, Longstaff, Luca Hurst, Ben King, Brad Fairhurst still holding off Joe Patterson, Terry Langley, Elliot Rice. Crease now in position to strike. Is he close enough? Has he got the run down to the hairpin? Well, I can tell you he hasn't. Joe Patterson has though on Brad Fairhurst and goes through. So Patterson up to 9th. Quick as a flash, Langley, Fairhurst, Rice, Yeomans, Pearce and Genman go through. Fairhurst shows the nose to Langley, trying to force him into a mistake. Really to try and get a run down to turn 1, but here comes Elliot Rice. So that hasn't worked out for Fairhurst. And now he's looking over his shoulder Ben Yeomans running in 13th. Coming through half distance. First holding up Yeomans, and that's backed him up, and Matthew Pearce is just not in a position to take advantage. Sweeping out through the left-hander and back up to the chicane. Genman looking for a way past Pearce, showed him the nose going in. Now on a run up the inside into turn 1, and the job is done. Pearce is on the wrong side for the bus stop. Has he got the momentum to tip in over the top? Not quite there. Owen Genman is through. Genman up to 14th. And from here, Hurst seems to be a little bit stronger. Coming out of the bus stop. And down to turn 4. Yeomans trying to get a run on Owen Genman and forces Matthew Pearce run out wide by Matt Brooks. Brooks goes through. Doesn't appear to be any complaint from Matthew Pearce. So once again, crease on Ayrton Hurst, bumper up to the chicane, loses half a kart length, up to turn 1. Can he nail that exit for a run down the bus stop? Here's Jamie Crease keeping something in hand, took a lot of curb going in to the chicane there. Very fast through turn 3. Always enjoyable to drive in any kart when you're on your limit. Into the technical turn 5 complex, left, right. It's a long right, it's a double apex, and then the left, try to nail that exit. Got to keep the revs up. Just nips up on the exit there with a curb. Rarely that you'd ever hit it, but it can just spoil your exit enough to give somebody a run into chicane. Ben King on the defensive to hold off Patterson. Very narrow into turn 1, runs wide on the exit. Oh, and Ayrton Hurst has made a mistake in the bus stop. And Jamie Crease is up the inside and through at turn 3. Jamie Crease leads from Ayrton Hurst, and Patrick Lee makes it a 3-way dice for the lead. Ben King now trying to hold off Terry Langley, and that will give Joe Patterson 2 kart lengths over the finish line as we're moving into the closing stages, and the scramble begins for grid slots for the pre-final. It's Crease at the moment ahead of Hurst. And this is where Ayrton Hurst has been a little bit stronger, and he's closer to Crease than Crease was coming out of turn 1. Can he get a run down to the bus stop? He made a mistake here last time. Can he afford to chance and make another? Is the front row enough, and will Patrick Lee let him keep it? Sam Dimelot's picked off Sam Massey. They race with Tony Longstaff. Terry Langley ahead of Brad Hurst, who just nipped up the inside of Elliot Rice going into the bus stop. Rice coming straight back at him down the inside into turn 4. Lovely move from the reigning champion. Elliot Rice up to 10th. And now he's looking at the bumper of 2-time champion Terry Langley. Jamie Crease leading into chicane, forced to go narrow by Ayrton Hurst. And Hurst has got a run on him. Crease is going to have to go narrow into turn 1, and he does. And Patrick Lee joins in. It's a 3-way dice for pole position. Crease is holding Hurst down to the bus stop. Hurst had a look at the inside. Crease went in narrow. It's a canny race from Jamie Crease. Fakes to cover into turn 3. Has to cover into turn 4. Jamie Crease has pole position ahead of Ayrton Hurst, Patrick Lee, and Sam Dimelot comes through in 4th. On to the pre-final, and we can only expect more entertainment from the best class, most competitive class in Easykart in 2011. Jamie Crease has the pleasure of pole position ahead of Ayrton Hurst, Patrick Lay, Sam Dimolo on row 2. Look out for Sam Massey and Tony Longstaff, Luca Hurst, Joe Patterson, Terry Langley, Elliot Rice, all jousting, looking to get up the front for the main final. Who'll get this hole shot? Will Hurst be able to tip it over the top this time? No. Look at Sam Dimolo cutting in behind Sam Massey. Who's run wide there? Owen Genman has gone off into the gravel trap. Well, Sam Dimolo cut in early to get the inside curve for turn 1. He's got ahead of Tony Longstaff. So he hasn't really gained anything there. It's Crease. Hurst down the inside. A lovely move. Crease is going for a cutback. Takes a little bit of contact from Patrick Lay, who loses momentum and loses out to Massey and Dimolo. Wow, what a start to the pre-final. Ayrton Hurst getting on it. Sam Dimolo trying to get up the front to go with him. Joe Patterson trying to make ground quickly. 2, 3, 4 wide in the chicane. It doesn't go, and they get it down a single file by the apex. Crease looking to the inside. Sam Dimolo edging through on Sam Massey. Massey will have the momentum off the corner. And here they come to the bus stop. Is anybody going to launch it up the inside? It's As You Were. Brad Hurst holding off Joe Patterson. Down at the hairpin. Going in narrow. Hurst and Massey. Sam Dimolo looking to the inside at turn 5. Massey gives him a little bit of room, but it's just to take the corner from him. And now Dimolo's on the wrong side for the run back out and down the start-finish straight. Longstaff looking up the inside of Luca Hurst. Can't get it done. Oh, somebody went out the side there. Joe Patterson has pulled off. Contact with Terry Langley. Didn't really see it, but he's parked at the side of the road. That's disappointing for his championship. Looks like a mechanical. Oh, a lot of work for Joe Patterson in the final then. Ayrton Hurst leads at the end of lap 2. Jamie Crease, Sam Massey bouncing down the grass. This time Dimolo's looking to the outside into turn 5. Still can't get it done. Streaming through the midfield, Matthew Pearce chasing after Richard Moxham, who's struggling to make an impact, and this is affecting his championship. Jamie Crease looking for the lead. Not quite there. Will he keep his revs up? Not lose any momentum? On the brakes. Here comes Sam Dimolo, backing it in sideways. Sam Dimolo through to third. Lovely move. And he was on the ragged edge to get it done. Massey now forced to cover to hold off Patrick Lay. And that just might let in Tony Longstaff. A very good run for Tony Longstaff. Perhaps his most competitive run of the season. Here they come again, into the teeth of that gale. Ayrton Hurst is making a massive hole in the air. The speed of his kart, plus a 30-mile-an-hour breeze blowing into his face. Well, what have we got here? It goes all the way down to Luca Hurst in 9th. So a 9-way dice for the lead. Ayrton Hurst, Jamie Crease, Sam Dimolo, Sam Massey, Patrick Lay, Tony Longstaff, Brad Hurst, Elliot Rice, Luca Hurst. All queued up, stacking up. 4 laps down. Oh, and Craig Coles is out. And Sam Dimolo's looking to go for the lead here into turn 1. Gets his wheels inside. Won't be bullied off the pot by Ayrton Hurst, who might go round the outside and repay the favour. He can't. Dimolo gets it into the bus stop. He comes in sideways. He's lost a little bit of momentum. Ayrton Hurst on his bumper, and here comes Jamie Crease back to the party. Will lamp it inside of Matt Brooks. Can he make it stick? Well, he's put Brooks down the grass. Brooks keeps it running, but Lampit is up to 10th. Richard Moxham now on Brooks's bumper. Looking to the inside, going into chicane. Oh, has to back out. Not enough. And takes out Matt Brooks. Jamie Crease up to second. Sam Massey is going to get a chance to get a run on third. He's on the wrong side, going down the back straight. So Sam Dimmelop leads from Jamie Crease. Ayrtonhurst losing out to Sam Massey. Good move from Massey. Patrick Lee on the outside may lose out to Tony Longstaff. Oh, it's all kicking off in the lights. This is why we love this class. And this is only the pre-final. Elliot Rice looking to put a move on Patrick Lee in the toe. Half of them go defensive on the half that's got a run on them. Longstaff looking to the side of Hurst, but it's Rice going through on Patrick Lee. So Ayrtonhurst seems to be struggling up to turn one. Matthew Pearce picks off Jamie Summer-Hayes for 12. Sam Dimelo pulling clear for the first time. Tony Longstaff through, goes a long way to overtake Ayrtonhurst. And they're all queuing up now behind Tony. Hurst takes it back, and Rice is coming through if he can. And Patrick Lee wants to be on his bumper, but has to settle in behind Tony Longstaff, who's coming back at Elliot Rice. Oh, this is getting busy. And look at the ground that they're losing to Sam Massey and Jamie Crease. But it's good to watch, so I don't care. Elliot Rice through on Ayrtonhurst. Lovely move from Rice. Ayrtonhurst coming straight back at him. Side by side into turn 5. I didn't think you could do that. So Rice hangs on. It's good to watch, but it's costing them time dearly. And look how narrow Rice is having to go on. Longstaff sticking his nose in with Luca Hurst, Patrick Lee and Brad Hurst. Rice stays in 6th place. Whoa, and Julian Cliss tries to put a move on Richard Washbrook for 21st and gets it all wrong at the chicane. That will have rattled his fill-ins, I'm sure. Oh, and Luca Hurst coming in late and hard on Tony Longstaff. Will that give Patrick Lee any kind of look into turn 5? No, it won't. So on to lap 11. Luca Hurst now in 6th place. The leading trio well clear. Patrick Lee down the inside of Longstaff. Takes his shot but gets it done. Brad Fairhurst, oh, through the door that Tony Longstaff just opened ajar. So Fairhurst up to 8th. That's outside of row 4 for the main final. Patrick Lee round the outside of Luca Hurst into the chicane. What a move from Patrick Lee. I didn't think you could do that. And great driving from Luca Hurst, because he could easily have nailed him there. Will lamp it down the inside of Tony Longstaff. And Will moves up to 9th place, showing well at Fulbeck. They've all managed to get through turn 5. Longstaff pushing hard, but taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, it appears. Locking up, going in on the brakes into the chicane. Longstaff looking to the inside of Lampit. Can't get it done. Back with our leaders. Slipping through. Rice has got a cart length or 2 on Hurst. Patrick Lee's pulled clear of Luca Hurst. This is where all the action is, so let's just enjoy it. Brad Fairhurst's nose cone looking very second hand. Final lap board is out. Sam Dimlow's got 0.3 of a second on Jamie Crease. Nothing into the first chicane. So this is the fight for the front row. This here behind Luca Hurst is the battle to get on the 4th. Luca Hurst stacking him up into turn 1, trying to nail that exit. Sam Dimelo tipping into the stadium section. He's going to have pole position and there's 1 corner to go. Jamie Crease will have the front row. Sam Massey might be happier starting on grid 3. Well, so far we've been spoilt as usual in the lightweight class. Great racing throughout. Will we get a final to match? Sam Dimolo starts on the front row with Jamie Creese. Sam Massey, Elliot Rice on row 2. Ayrton Hurst, driving so well, starts on grid 5. Patrick Lee on grid 6. Luca Hurst, Brad Fairhurst on row 4. Will Lampett, an excellent run to 9th. Matthew Pearce starts in 10th. Now it's up to Sam Dimolo to control the pace. He's dropped the hammer. We're racing at Fulbeck in the final of Senior Lights at Easykart. And it's Dimolo with the whole shot, and Massey has got second, as I suspected he would. Where's Jamie Creese? He's down in third. He's managed to hold off Ayrton Hurst. Down the chicane. He keeps the position. Somebody goes in very deep. It's Tony Longstaff. They've all made it through. Down to turn 4. Creese goes narrow to hold off Hurst. And we begin the first complete lap of this 19-lap final. And look at the lead that Sam Dimolo's got. Excuse the camera shake, it's the wind on the stanchion that it's attached to. There's a hell of a gale blowing down the main straight into the drivers' faces. Now they pick up a tailwind, which makes picking the braking point for the bus stop a little bit tricky. Streaming out and down to turn 3. Always awesome to drive that one. Then hard on the brakes for 4. Matt Brooks picks off Brad Fairhurst. So Brooks moves up to 11th. Sam Dimolo's lead already 0.6 of a second. He's had shocking luck with mechanicals this year. Hopefully he'll keep it together for this final. Sam Massey under pressure from Creese into the bus stop. Patrick Lee on Matthew Pearce's bumper. Looking for a way by into 3. That's brave. Is Brooks lining up Lampett for the hairpin? Yes, he is. And he gets it done. Will that give Brad Fairhurst a chance? Not quite there. Matt Brooks back in 10th. Creese getting a run on Sam Massey. Massey's going to have to give that one up for fear of letting in Ayrton Hurst. Well, the signal is clear. There's the target. Let's work together. It's a good idea. Whether or not it actually comes off is a totally different matter. Sam Dimolo is looking quick here. His lead 0.66 of a second over Jamie Creese. We're looking at the battle for 14th behind Terry Langley. Jamie Summerhayes on Genman, Ben Yeomans. Yeomans trying to get a run on Genman. Genman looks to the inside of Summerhayes. Doesn't commit. Ayrton Hurst inside of Sam Massey. Well, we saw that Ayrton Hurst was strong into turn 1 in the heat. Is Sam Massey going to counter-attack? He's lost half a kart length, so not close enough to go in on the brakes into turn 4. Fairhurst, lovely move on Lampett. So Fairhurst moves up to 11th. Jamie Summerhayes has got a long way round. Owen Genman, and clearly can't do it into turn 5. Matthew Pearce late inside of Elliot Rice. Gets it done. Lovely move. And Matthew Pearce moves up to 5th. So Dimlo, 3, 4, 5 kart lengths ahead of Jamie Crease. Tony Longstaff has been strong up to the chicane. Had a look up the inside, couldn't get it done. Pearce now back under pressure from Rice. And Rice goes through. Bit of a love tap. And Patrick Lay takes advantage. And where's Patrick going? He's looking to the inside. Into the second chicane. Can't get it done. Rice went in deep. Tony Longstaff went in deep as well. Rice under pressure from Lay. Is it on? Not quite there. More contact. Rice obviously not too pleased with that. The race leader, 0.8 of a second now ahead of Jamie Crease. Sam Massey looking for a way by and a chance to get on the podium. He's the battle for 5th. Rice, Lay, Pearce lining up Lay. There he goes, down the inside. Sweet move from Matthew Pearce, no complaints about that one. Matt Brooks holding off Tony Longstaff in the fight for 9th. Genman losing out to Ben Yeomans. So Ben Yeomans moves up to 15th. And Genman's got his line all wrong, coming out of the turn 5 complex. It's going to force Joe Patterson to go the long way round, but Patterson has got it done. Battle for 5th once again. I think somebody made a mistake coming out of turn 1. I think it was Pearce running wide and off track, and Patrick Lay's through. Luca Hurst now closing in on Matthew Pearce. Pearce forced to go defensive in an effort to hang on to 7th. Will he get the chance to keep it though? What a move from Luca Hurst up the inside into 5. Terry Langley, oh, it's getting a bit ugly back here. Patrick Lay straight through on Elliot Rice. So Rice must have made a mistake in the turn 5 complex, and Patrick Lay is through. Tony Longstaff picks off Matt Brooks and goes back to 9th. Patrick Lay is a further 3 seconds down on this quartet. He's pulled clear of Elliot Rice under pressure from Luca Hurst, who hasn't given up on getting 6th place. Will Lampett now holding off Joe Patterson. Had to go narrow to hold him off. I think it might have run wide. We might see Joe Patterson getting ahead of William Lampett. Yes, he's through. And Lampett has been swamped by Yeomans and Langley. Rice appears to be settling for all he can hold on to, and that would appear to be 6th place. That would be good for his championship. Ayrton Hurst is ahead of him. Julian Clist, Alex Jeffries, always somebody to race and have a good dice with an Easykart. This is the fight for 23rd place. Back with our leaders. And then the gap to Lay. Rice with his shadow, Luca Hurst, Matthew Pearce, Tony Longstaff. Owen Genman now trying to line up Will Lampett, who missed his apex, tipping into the chicane and is slow on the exit. Will Owen punish him? Yes, he will. And Ben King's in there. Whoa, heavy contact. Lampett tried to close the door, and Ben King got squeezed to the inside curb, and you can see the gestures there. Lampett says, that was mine. King says, well, where did you expect me to go? And Crease is pushing, and Sam Massey is closing on Ayrton Hurst. This would appear to be Jamie Crease's big push. He's got the lead down to half a second. Matthew Pearce looking for any kind of mistake from Luca Hurst. We know he's strong into this section. Not quite there. Just a lap and a half from the finish. Jamie Crease has got the lead down to 0.4 of a second. Has he got anything left? It's a truism. It's one thing to catch, it's another to overtake. But he's right there now. It's just a kart length. On the brakes, the concertina brings him closer. Back on acceleration, it's back out to a kart length into turn 5. Dimolo is neat into the turn 5 complex, as is Ayrton Hurst. The question is, which one's more likely? Is Massey going to dive in for third? Or is Crease going to get a shot at victory? Sam Massey's closer there. He cut back to the battle for 7th. Luca Hurst now on the defensive to hold off Longstaff, who's past Pearce. Oh, heavy contact from Matt Brooks, and Moxham's in and through. And it's Matthew Pearce losing out big time. He's down to 11th. Final few corners. Sam Dimmo's got a kart length on Jamie Crease and is heading for victory. Out of the final corner, Sam Dimolo takes the first win of the season, and look at the relief. Ayrton Hurst hangs on to third. Ahead of Sam Massey, Patrick Lay. Elliot Rice finishes 6th, but extends his lead in the championship to 13 points over Joe Patterson going into the final round.
Third place then for round 7, driver number 110, Ayrton Hurst. Started grid 2 and finished 2nd, and has been fast all weekend. Our E-Plate champion, Jamie Crease. To a winner then, and very likeable name. I like him lots, and Dad as well, and maximum points today, winning round 7 in the senior lightweight class, Sam Dimlo. Now we've got the seniors. Now I'm going to bring in a rule, and I think mums and dads should agree with me. They should be in their race suits, looking smart for the presentation. Yes? It's coming. Okay. Now here we have. Oh, look at this. We've got yachting things here that I don't know what they're called. Plims. Yeah. Okay. With some silly northern attire attached to it. Boys, please, everybody in the senior class, keep your race suits on, do them up. Let's have some decent photos because they do go in the press, okay? We need to do that. Thank you. Well done.